Hey guys, this is Cutting Down the Nets. Got a giant Saturday, so we'll quickly go through the preferred Paddy plays and narrow down to a little bit of a pool. So on air production meeting, slide myself over here, sitting at 53.6% ATS. You can track any play I make on BetStamp. On a Saturday like this, I might bet games super late. Could forget about games that are on my radar where I was hoping for another half point, and I'm like, oh, that game tipped. So, yeah, when there's like 150 games, it makes life a little difficult. So let's dig right in. This is sorted by Paddy value at the moment. So at the top, we have 8.5 points of value. That's the delta between the actual point spread of 7.5 and the Paddy point spread of 16. So the green I have played or for sure will play, just haven't maybe pulled the trigger yet because I'm monitoring some things. Yellow I've looked at and I'm not entirely sure, probably 50-50 on if I play it. Sometimes I'm influenced by external factors, like someone I trust is like, oh yeah, this is a great spot for that team. I'm like, well, yeah, I liked it too. And then orange, there'd have to be significant line movement to tackle. So this spreadsheet is in the description of this video, and it's a live Google Doc. So, I mean, I add to it every day. So it's not like you have to wait for it to be posted. I try to add that stuff at least 24 hours before games start. So at the top, PVAM, Jackson State. I'll give you the good and the bad on some of the yellows. So PVAM is 8th in turnover forced. Jackson State 306th in ball protection. So that's not good when Paddy likes the Jackson State side. We're going to lose some possessions, and I don't really want to give away possessions when I'm laying, 2-3 possessions. I don't want to give away opportunities. So plenty of pace in that game, though. It will be fast-paced, so sometimes that stuff evens itself out. So under consideration, but two bad teams, probably a bit sloppy. Hawaii, UC San Diego. This game is more of a grinder. So Paddy prefers the UC San Diego side. Shot quality is like pretty much in line with the point spread. Will be slow pace. Hawaii, number 1 in limiting 3-point attempts. So I just always find stuff like that kind of interesting. The Beavers going to Colorado. So Colorado traditionally has a very strong home court due to the altitude difference. So when you think good home courts like Arkansas, Fog Allen, sometimes it's like it's not just the crowd, it's the environment. That's why Wyoming and Colorado consistently show up as really strong home courts. But I am still showing value here. I do think the Beavers are going to get killed on the boards, but the game can play slow, so we just got to kind of punch back a little bit here and hang around 8 possessions. I don't know, something like that. So not sure how that game will go, but I am on the underdog side. Harvard Penn, this just seems fishy. So I've tried to find stuff, and like Harvard was missing some key players like 5 games ago. They're now back. Penn had some personnel issues too, but it's like, man, this line stinks. Like I've got it at 9, shot quality's at 8, KenPom's at 6, and it hasn't moved off 2.5. So yeah, when it hits, you think you're a genius, and like, man, I can't believe they hung a line that bad. And then when it doesn't, like, man, I'm a fish. Don't know what happened. So that is the life of a gambler. Next yellow game is Dayton. Dayton covering 12.5. Dayton keeps winning. Dayton keeps showing as like a Paddy play, and Dayton keeps struggling to cover large numbers. It's just difficult to do with the pace of play that they have. Maine NJIT is next. NJIT certainly isn't good, but these teams are similar offensively and not far enough apart defensively for them to be like 8.5 points different on a neutral. So, yeah. Yellow game next, Virginia, Georgia Tech. I'm probably going here, but can it get to like 3? Something like that? That would certainly be more palatable for me. When these lines are close to 0, I just typically don't do well with them because there's nowhere for the line to go. So if you have a team A by 1.5 and then the line's The other team by 1.5. That shows us 3 points of value, but I mean, you're still talking a possession. I don't know. It's tricky. So, La Tech, Jacksonville State. I played Jacksonville State. Saw a handicapper I respect bet La Tech at a much better number, so they took La Tech -2 after the line moved. I took 3.5, so something's got to give there. I don't like to be on the other side of teams or of handicappers that are pretty good. Next up, Georgia, Kentucky. Never like to step in front of Kentucky at Rupp, but this number is inflated quite a bit, so we're going to need the Georgia defense to show up, and they do draw a lot of fouls. Not good to get, or not easy to get a friendly whistle at as a road team at Rupp, but we're going to need it here. NoCo, Northern Colorado, -6 against Portland State. I like it, but Northern Colorado's lack of defense does make it hard. Like they can score, but they can't stop anybody. So that's kind of tricky there. UCLA, Arizona, data pretty strong here. Maybe UCLA is stopping the bleeding 2 games in a row. They've looked competent. So either way, I don't like to lay 18 points in any scenario. Grand Canyon, Seattle, that is next. I played 5.5, and I did that mainly because Circa was at 4 when the 5.5 was available to me. Not sure what the line will do, if it will go down to like 4, 4.5, but I thought there was some value there. KenPom's at 3. I understand Grand Canyon is 17-1. In looking at their data, they look kind of meh. It's one of the most meh 17-1 teams I've ever seen from an analytics standpoint. Not saying they're good, just saying they are not like a dominant 17-1. ECU, UAB. UAB should win the board, so that gives me some concern. So I'm hoping for like a 6, 6.5. I don't know if it will come. BU against Colgate. Colgate has been fadeable this year. I think there's going to be spots to keep attacking Colgate. I don't know if this is the one. This BU offense is so stinky. So if Colgate just makes a few extra threes, you're just kind of fighting uphill there. UIC at Valpo. Similar situation where I see value in the line, but betting on the team that's struggling or in a struggle spot offensively, not my favorite thing to do. And this looks like tough sledding for the Valpo offense. Few games left. Irvine and UC Davis. This one's interesting. Data all prefers the UC Davis side, but when you look at schedules, it's night and day. Last one would be Cleveland State, Fort Wayne. It's a massive rebounding edge. Fort Wayne doing some soul searching after losing to Bob Morris and IUPUI in back-to-back games. So see kind of the yellow there. Anything I play will be posted on BetStamp. Use the data, get creative, have fun, don't tilt, touch some grass. Good luck, everybody.